Why you dead? Alright, we're back in the Dark Souls playthrough, and we just killed the Capra Demon, got the key to the depths, and as I said earlier, we're not going to be going through the depths or the front way of Blighttown, but I am going to go into the depths to free the pyromancer, so that, well, for no other reason to just show you where he's at, I guess, and to show you where the large ember is, which is used for upgrading weapons past +5. Not that I'm going to do that in this game, but I'm going to show you where they're at. So we're going to pick those up. We're also going to pick up a poison resist shield and then get out. So here we go. Now these are the basic undead enemies again. Some have torches, some don't. And this area is not all that difficult as long as you single pull the enemies. If you pull them all as a big group, you can get overwhelmed really quickly. Now what we want to do here is just clear this room up here of all the tables by breaking them all, because we're going to pull up a big fat guy with a huge machete, and he hits really hard, so we want to make sure that we have room to maneuver around a bit. Here's the fat guy. I think they're called butchers. So we're going to single pull him, try to do some damage up front, and then back up. Now, this enemy's really stupid, and he'll fall in this pit over and over again, so you have to stand at the bottom of the stairs and wait for him. You can't just run up with him chasing you right away. So once he's up here, just start pummeling him with soul arrows. He kind of goes down like a bitch. Melee characters will have a little bit harder time, but as long as you just strafe around him and dodge his attacks, he's not that bad of a problem. Sometimes, if you're human, or if you have a high item drop rate, they'll drop a sack, which is a hat that's just a sack and it's funny looking. It's pretty much the worst helmet in the game, but it's funny to wear regardless. And then in this chest is the large ember. Now, next we're going to pull down the other fat-ass butcher and take him out, because he's protecting the room that the sorcerer, or the pyromancer, is in. And once you free the pyromancer, then he goes back to the Firelink Shrine, and then we'll train you in pyromancy. What's neat with pyromancy versus sorcery, see, sorcery requires you to stack intellect for your spells to hit harder, but pyromancy actually doesn't take any statistics at all. You're given a glove, which is what you use to cast your pyromancy spells, and then you purchase your pyromancy spells from a pyromancer. But you actually will level the pyromancy glove up, and it doesn't take anything but soul, so there's no requirements for regents like Titanite or anything. It just levels up. So as long as you get the souls, any character, be it a warrior, cleric, anything, rogue, can use pyromancy. Oh, there I got the sack, which is useless but funny. So then just in this room here is a room full of barrels. If you just roll into the corner, you want to make sure you don't actually attack him. So by rolling into him, you free him, and there you go.
You must help me. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, of the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt.
The last thing we're going to do while we're in the depths is go back up by the butcher, and there is some barrels that will break and we'll fall down a pit that will take us down further into the depths, which is really just the sewers. And down there, it's a really terrible zone. There's rats that hit kind of hard. There's little, I don't know, bug-looking things with big eyeballs that curse you. And again, cursing halves your HP, so if I don't have to go into the depths, I'd just skip it entirely. So we drop down here. There's a giant rat down below, which is, I don't know, kind of like a mini-boss. We're not even going to attack him. Just run around, pick up the shield over here, and then we're going to use a homeward bone to get out of here, because this zone is a bitch. And Blighttown, the zone after this, is a bitch. Unfortunately, in skipping this, we're going to not kill the vagina gaping dragon. But if you're interested in seeing that, I'm sure there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show it. And now that I've got a bunch of souls, I'm gonna use them to buy all the spells from this mage guy, because to get the events to trigger to go after Big Hat Logan and to be able to purchase all of their spells, I'm pretty sure you have to purchase all of the spells from all of the mages, even if you already own them, which again is fine because it's good to have multiple copies of multiple spells. So purchase everything that he's got, soul arrow, heavy soul, you know, all the way down. Now, one mistake that I made is he sells a ring for 20,000 souls, called the, I don't know, some kind of dragon ring, but it lets your spells hit harder. And I did not buy it from him because I thought that if you killed him, that he dropped it, and I was wrong, and I kill him later in the game, and that was a mistake. So if you're playing as a sorcerer, you're gonna want to make sure to buy that 20,000 soul ring from him. Now here we're going to change up my attunements a bit to make myself more efficient. I'm going to get 2 great soul arrows. This looks like what I did there. Yep. And apparently I think I'm a badass. Now, being that the next area that we're going to go to is Blighttown, though we're going to go through it through the back door, because that's where the next Bell of Awakening is and the next boss. It's a big swamp down there, and it's really tough to walk through, and it poisons you as you walk through it. So we're going to go return to the Undead Asylum, which, if you recall, is the tutorial area, because there's a ring there that lets you walk across rough surfaces, I guess, like swamps. So we'll take the elevator up and we roll off of it, and we're going to roll to this platform. And we're going to walk up top, and we're going to talk to the raven or a crow, whatever it is. And he's got a nest up there, and you basically just curl up as a ball. And if you sit there for like 30 seconds as a ball, it will come and pick you up and bring you back to the Undead Asylum. Now, things back in the Undead Asylum have changed a bit. There's now some enemies outside with torches that you need to single pull, because early in the game we're pretty vulnerable to their fire still. Inside where we fought the first boss, you can actually fall through the floor, and it will take you down to a much harder version of that boss. Killing that boss will give you a Titanite slab, which is the rarest of the upgrade components, and is kind of the best one. It is your final upgrade. We're not going to fight him yet. In fact, I don't think I fight him at all in this playthrough because I don't need that item. So we're not going to fight him because he's just a little too tough for me right now. Now I'm going to rest at this bonfire again because if you recall, the NPC that gave us the Estus flasks right in the very beginning, he's still here, but now he's a bad guy and he's going to attack us when we get close to him. And we're going to kill him because he gives a crest shield, which has high magic resist, which is good for several fights in the game. This guy is not that difficult. You just have to, if you're a melee character, you just hold your shield up the whole time and wait for your opportunity to attack or backstab. And if you're a sorcerer or a ranged character, just pummel him with ranged attacks. He's pretty susceptible to them. This again just goes to show why the sorcerer is not great in PvP. It's so easy to dodge his soul arrows, which is the primary damage of a sorcerer. Now there's a few other things that we need to get while we're here. Up top there's the ring that we're going after. Before there was a locked door in the tutorial area that we could not get to, and we picked up the ring for this earlier in the game, so we've come back and now we're going to be able to get this ring. If we go back to the very first room we start in, there's also going to be guarded by a Black Knight, an item called a peculiar doll, which is basically a key to the painted world of Ariamis, I think is called, which is an optional area later in the game, but it's definitely worth going to in all playthroughs because there's so many souls that you get there. I mean, you gain easily about 10 levels every time you go there, and it's not that challenging even of a level. The enemies in here are a little harder than they were in the tutorial, but, you know, they're nothing for a great heavy soul arrow. And now for the trickier part is going after that peculiar doll because it's a tight corridor with a Black Knight, and the Black Knights really deal a significant amount of damage if they hit you. So, as a melee character, I pretty much just run past them this early in the game to get the doll and get out because they're really too tough to fight in this confined space. As a sorcerer, I might be able to pull it off if I'm able to nail some great heavy soul arrows on him without him blocking with his shield. Having some targeting issues there. This is something that kind of annoys me with this game is when you push the target button, it doesn't always pick up the target that you're wanting, and it makes you look in weird directions. So I'm just gonna have to completely flee, get out of here, and start over. And if I recall correctly, my asshole friend Nielsen is text messaging the shit out of me right now, asking what he should do for his sorcerer build, and that's why I'm kind of distracted here. Yeah, I'm pretty much fucked right here. I'm in the deep water. If I was wearing that rusted iron ring, I'd be able to move around, but nope. He just comes in and gives me a swift ass-kicking. So we'll give this fucker a try again. Now, if I can get my targeting right, maybe I'll get some soul arrows off as he's running at me. That was just stupid before. There we go. No problem. The red Titanite chuck is another one of those later game upgrade components. I think it's used for upgrading to a chaos enchant, I think, which basically makes your weapon scale instead of off of statistics, it scales off of how much humanity you have. And now the only thing left is to leave the Undead Asylum via the bird like we got here. It's going to take us back to the Firelink Shrine, and then we have everything that we need to head down into Blighttown through the back door like we did in the very beginning of the game when I went to get the Crimson set. Once down there, we're going to head after Quelaag, the boss. We're going to fight a phantom invader called Maneater Mildred, I think. And we're going to do a little bit of farming. See ya.